Coming to us from California by ways of Yarnum, let's check out the Ernie Ball Music Man Rabea Massaad Sabre. When Rabea Massaad announced that he was leaving Chapman Guitars, I think a lot of people were wondering where he was going to go. And then as soon as we got word that it was going to be Ernie Ball Music Man, we knew it was going to be something cool. And spoiler alert, it is something absolutely stunning. What I've got in my hands today is the Ernie Ball Music Man Rabea Massaad Sabre signature guitar. This is it in its Vile Blood Burst. As a Bloodborne fan, I should have known that. And it also comes in a Frenzied Flame Burst as well. But spoiler alert, as I said, this guitar is absolutely stunning, so I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's just dive right in. So what I would assume that people would think when they see, you know, Rabea's guitar here is that it's made for big chunky riffs with just, you know, an octaver on it, it's detuned, all that really good stuff, and that was that intro that you heard there. But let's just hear how these sound on just my most distorted channel that I could use right now. We're going through Neuro DSP Quad Cortex. This is an EVH red channel, which I think is very, very suitable for this, and the guitar is currently set up to drop C. So let's hear how these bare knuckle silo pickups sound. So the most notable thing that you will have probably noticed about that little demo there was that this guitar has a total, like, plethora of tones within it. And I guess that probably suits Rabea Massaad. You know, he's not a one-trick pony. The guy loves his big riffs, but he also loves his clean guitar as well. And you'll have noticed, if you're any more of a fan of him, that he's occasionally, will have a Stratocaster in his lap, along with, you know, something that's got big chunky humbuckers in it. But these bare knuckle silo pickups, which are his signature bare knuckles as well, they are packing a hell of a lot of tones within them. So you've got a 5-way selector on here. Kind of works as you would expect with, you know, say any other guitar that's an HH configuration here. So at the back we are on our full humbucker. But then if you push the tone pot there, it's a nice push-push action on that there. That's going to split that to more of a single coil. Now actually, to really give you an idea how that sounds there, let me switch it over to a clean with a bit more of a sort of ambient sound going on, because again, very Arabia sort of flavoured. And like any good five-way selector as well, you have your positions 2 and 4, which are going to give you those sort of in-between sort of stratty sounds as well. On the second position, our first of our 2 positions, on position 2 there, what that is doing is that's actually just activating both of the inside coils. So that's what this sounds like. And then switching over to 4, we're going to have the outside coils on that as well, giving you obviously a lot of tonal flexibility. And much like the bridge pickup, the bridge humbucker as well, the neck can be split. I think that 4th might be my favourite, but let me know which sounds you preferred in the comments there. Now, much like any kind of, modern, I guess, metal guitarist, there has been a bit of a trend that, these players maybe don't want just like full assault humbuckers on at all times, and I do think that this guitar particularly handles those in-between positions on the higher gain sound really, really well. You can check out our Artist Toolkit with Ollie Steele if you want to see somebody kind of talking about that a little bit more, but to give you a sort of idea of what that's like, your humbucker sound, as you've heard from some of the examples here, nice and thick, nice and chunky. But when you do the split positions on there, when you're working with like the inside and the outside coils, you do just get this slightly more sort of percussive sound. And certainly with this patch where I've got like a noise gate on, I'll kick on an octave during it as well. All those kind of like jumpy riffs that you can do, with like hammer-ons and pull-offs and whatnot, they just kind of poke out just that little bit more. So there's no denying that this guitar is it's put together unbelievably well, and I think that, I don't want to say that it's helping my playing in any way, but I'm having so much fun that I think it is sort of translating to the guitar. We're going to go over some of the more kind of finer details of the instrument as well. I want to kind of bring a bit of attention to this tailpiece and the, it's not a floating trim, it's just, because it's kind of put right down to the body there. Which I think comes in really handy as well, because, you know, if you noticed any of Rubia's playing, if you are a fan of this kind of, you know, like chunky sort of metally playing as well, then any guitar that's got a trem on it is maybe going to kind of freak out a little bit, you know, especially if you're going to be kind of, you know, like really leaning into that bridge, or particularly if you're going to be changing tunings like here and there. But what I'm finding with this bridge is just that it's solid. It is absolutely like bolted down onto that without actually being bolted down. And for some people, it might feel a little bit stiff when you're actually working with it, but I actually think that works really well with the guitar as well, because you're not going to find that when you're doing like big chugs on it, that your tuning's not going to be kind of like wavering in any way, but it means that when you do want to use the actual trem, that it's going to kind of like snap back into place like really, really solidly, which is cool. Like, it still feels really smooth, but there's just that little bit of extra sort of like force against it, which again, I think just like works really, really well with the guitar itself. Now, everything else about it, you know, there's not really any like, you know, crazy kind of configurations with anything on here. We have a really, really stunning ebony board with 22 stainless steel frets on them. A figured roasted maple neck as well, which you're going to find on a lot of the Ernie Ball guitars. But one of the interesting things that actually we spoke to Rubia quite recently for one of our interviews, I'll put the link above my head if you want to check that out after this video here. But he was talking about the Sabre as well, and there is like, it's kind of he was talking about how the neck kind of goes opposite from like, it's thicker down the bottom end here, but then it like kind of thins out towards the bottom, which it's usually the opposite way because people like a little bit more traction down here, but I've not noticed it being a hindrance in any sort of way. It does feel like a little bit chunkier just up the top, especially, you know, when you want to get a bit sort of just chunky there. But for flying up on the top there, you know, it's nice and skinny, it feels really good to play, and it's a nice sort of even 10-inch radius across the board, which I know when you're down that dusty end there, there's no resistance, there's no issues whatsoever. And I just want to kind of, you know, bring a bit of attention to the actual build quality and just the sort of look of the guitar as well, because come on now, that thing just looks absolutely stunning. And that big old thick maple cap that's on there, it just makes it look, again, stunning is the only word that I can really apply with it. It's just, we're absolutely speechless when we took this out of the case. And everybody in the office has had a good shot of it as well. Like, everybody's been absolutely buzzing to play on it. But yeah, you know, there's not really much to get in the weeds of actually what else is like kind of put into this guitar. If you do want to read, you know, any more about kind of like the pots or anything like that, or any of the other specifications, the link down below will take you to the website that will give you some of those details. But I just wanted to give a kind of quick overview of this guitar because I have been quite looking forward to it coming in, and hopefully this has given you sort of information of what it can do, because it is very, very versatile, much like Rubia himself. I think he's made a really good guitar, so if you do see this, mate, then well done. This guitar absolutely rocks. But let us know what you think about the brand new Ernie Ball Music Man Rubia Masad Sabre down below. While there, give us a like and a subscribe if you have liked the video at all and you want to keep up with any of the new news at Guitar HQ. But until next time, I've been Kieran, and this has just been a very quick look at the Ernie Ball Music Man Rubia Masad Sabre. Have a great day.